All right, let's dive right into this explainer. If you've ever looked around and wondered why some folks just seem to effortlessly build wealth while others are constantly stuck on this endless financial treadmill, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down the ultimate blueprint for financial strength.
There's this massive myth out there that wealth is all about luck or, just being born rich. We look at financially secure people and instantly assume, oh, they just caught a lucky break or they must have this massive salary. But honestly, the truth is so much more grounded than that. Real financial strength doesn't come from some magical windfall. It comes from habits. Literally, just small, seemingly boring decisions that you repeat every single day, which quietly build up an absolute fortress of wealth over time. Think about it like this. You can have a massive six-figure salary, but if you've got poor financial habits, you can easily end up with absolutely nothing. Seriously, there are people out there earning hundreds of thousands of dollars who are still living paycheck to paycheck, totally stressed out of their minds. But then, on the flip side, we see people earning completely average incomes who just steadily grow their savings, their investments, and ultimately their freedom. Why? Because those daily habits are the real game changer. So, to build your own financial fortress today, we're going to move step by step through a complete system. We'll cover the true secret to wealth, mastering your cash flow, building your financial defense, growing your wealth faster, and finally, the ultimate wealth catalyst. All right, let's jump right into part one, the true secret to wealth, which is spending less than you earn. Now, I know spending less than you earn sounds incredibly simple, right? Almost too simple. But here's the kicker. If your expenses are consistently greater than your income, there is literally no budgeting app or financial advisor on the planet that can save you. It is the absolute bedrock of wealth. But the biggest trap people fall into here is what's called lifestyle inflation. It catches millions of us. I mean, it's totally human nature to want to reward yourself. You work hard, you finally get that promotion, and what happens? Boom, you immediately increase your spending. You lease that fancy new car, upgrade to a bigger apartment, sign up for 5 new streaming services you'll never actually watch. So your income went up, sure, but your wealth stayed exactly the same because your expenses just chased it right up the ladder. Let's put some numbers to this to see how it plays out. Say you get a $500 monthly raise at work. Now, someone who is financially weak sees this and, well, immediately spends all $500. Their lifestyle just inflates like a balloon to consume that entire new income. But the financially strong, they do the exact opposite. When their income grows, they pump up their savings first, not their spending. So instead of blowing the whole raise, that wealthy mindset kicks in and says, okay, I'm going to save or invest $300 of that raise, and I'll use the remaining $200 to enjoy a little lifestyle bump. You still get to treat yourself, but you're actually paying your future self first. And honestly, that right there is exactly how lasting wealth starts. Moving on to step 2, mastering your cash flow by paying yourself first. So normally, the average person pays their bills first, right? Then they spend whatever is left on groceries, gas, maybe some fun on the weekends, and then, at the very end of the month, they try to save whatever is left over. But let's be real, usually there's absolutely nothing left. To build wealth, you have to reverse that entire process. Step 1, you receive your paycheck. Step 2, immediately, and I mean immediately, move a portion of that money to savings or investments. And then step 3, spend what is left. You absolutely must pay yourself first the second that direct deposit hits. Now, how do you actually make sure you stick to this without relying on willpower? You automate it. Automation just totally removes all the excuses. Set up automatic transfers directly to your wealth building accounts, your savings, your emergency fund, a 401k, Roth IRA, or just a regular brokerage account. By having this set up automatically with your bank or your employer, the money just vanishes into your investments before you ever even see it sitting in your checking account. You're literally saving before you even have the chance to spend. And guys, the math on this is just incredibly inspiring. To put it into perspective, if someone earning $4,000 a month automatically saves just 10%, which is $400, that creates a massive $4,800 in a single year. And remember, that is before any investment growth even kicks in. Just the simple, boring habit of automation builds a nearly $5,000 foundation in 12 months. All right, part 3. Let's talk about building your financial defense, handling debt and emergencies. Now that we've got cash flowing the right way, we need to protect it. And the reality of borrowing is that debt itself isn't inherently evil. There's good debt, and then there's bad debt.
Good debt, like a sensible mortgage or, certain student loans, can actually help you build long-term assets or boost your earning potential. But bad debt, man, that is a silent killer. We're talking credit cards, unnecessary car loans, those buy now, pay later schemes. They will absolutely destroy your financial progress. Before borrowing, you always have to ask yourself, is this debt going to grow my future income, or is it just satisfying a temporary want right now?
Because if it's just a temporary want, the math gets terrifying pretty fast. Right now in the US, so many people are trapped paying 20% or more in credit card interest. Think about what that actually means. That $100 dinner out, it ends up costing you $120, $130, or even more by the time you actually pay it off. Every single thing you buy becomes drastically more expensive over time. Financially strong people avoid this trap like the plague because they flat out refuse to pay a massive premium just for a little temporary pleasure.
The second half of your defense is an emergency fund. Listen, unexpected expenses aren't just rare bad luck, they are absolutely guaranteed to happen. Car repairs, sudden medical bills, maybe losing a job. If your monthly living expenses are, say, $2,500, a minimum 3-month emergency fund means you need $7,500 safely tucked away. The ideal 6-month fund would be $15,000, and you want to keep this money in a separate high-yield savings account. It is definitely not a vacation fund. Its sole purpose is to turn what would normally be a complete financial disaster into just a minor, manageable inconvenience. It's really about buying yourself peace of mind.
Okay, let's move to step 4, growing your wealth faster through incomes and investing. With our defense locked down, it's time to play some offense. Relying on just one single job is incredibly risky. One recession, one company restructuring, and boom, your entire income drops to zero. That's why financially strong people aim to diversify. They build multiple streams of income. This could be side businesses, freelancing, investing for dividends, rental income, online stores, YouTube channels, you name it. Now, the goal isn't to hustle 24/7 until you burn out. It's really just to create an extra $300 to $500 a month through streams that don't constantly require you to trade your time for money. Even a really small secondary income stream can completely alter your financial trajectory. And what do you do with that extra cash? You invest it, of course. Because inflation is basically out there slowly eating away at the purchasing power of any cash you just leave sitting under the mattress, you have to consistently put your money to work. Financially secure folks buy assets. We're talking index funds, ETFs, retirement accounts, stocks, and real estate. They're constantly exchanging their depreciating cash for assets that actually go up in value. When you do this consistently, the results are just staggering. Check this out. Investing just $300 a month into an S&P 500 index fund over 20 years grows into a massive sum. Why? It's all thanks to the magic of compound interest. Your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. The real secret here is consistency, not perfection. You really don't need to be some Wall Street genius. Real wealth is built quietly over decades of boring, consistent investing, not through overnight gambling on the stock market.
And finally, we reach step 5, the ultimate wealth catalyst, continuous learning.
Here's a somewhat harsh truth. School teaches us math, but it almost never teaches us about money. Financially strong people know this, which is exactly why they take their financial education into their own hands. They are constantly reading personal finance books, listening to podcasts, watching investing channels. They study business skills, tax strategies, and new budgeting systems. And why does this matter? Because a single lesson learned about, say, tax optimization or a better budgeting framework can literally save or make you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Which brings us to this really powerful quote: knowledge changes income, and income changes life. It hits the nail right on the head. When you truly learn how credit card interest works, it can save you from years of debilitating debt. When you actually understand how compound investing works, it can create decades of immense generational wealth for your family. Basically, the more you understand the rules of the money game, the better decisions you're going to make every single day. At the end of the day, becoming financially strong isn't about somehow magically earning $1 million by tomorrow morning. It starts right now, today, with your habits. Spending less than you earn, paying yourself first, avoiding that toxic bad debt, building up your emergency fund, investing consistently, and always staying curious and learning. Now, I know these habits might seem incredibly small today, maybe even insignificant, but I promise you they will completely transform your life over the next 5 to 10 years. So to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Which one of these habits are you going to pick and actually start today? Get to work, build that fortress, and I'll catch you in the next one.